Hello everyone. Just testing out the stream to make sure everything's working. So just give me a second. Okay, I think it's working. Okay. Let's see, is my audio working? Okay, I think it's working. Okay. I'm noticing a little bit of an echo. I think I got the issue fixed. So I'm just waiting to, I'm watching on the second monitor here just to see how it looks. Okay. I'm noticing a little bit of an echo. Alright, everything seems good. Okay. Yeah, I just had to adjust some settings here and I think I got it fixed. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I got a Blender composite I've been working on, and that's this one. Let's just let that load, and of course it's not going to look the same because we're not using the proper color management, so I have to select my color space, and let's just do Control C and then Control V just to preview that. Where'd that go? That's over here, so we need that to be all the way at the beginning. So let's move that on over to here. Okay, and that goes into the yellow. And just like that, we got our original image. So this is without any compositing applied at all. And then we could compare that with the composited image, which would be after the film grain node. Just going to take a second or so to load, I think. Let's see. Maybe. Oh, I disabled this, so this has to be re-enabled, I believe, or maybe. Yeah. So for some reason it's not showing up in the right. Oh, there it is. Now it's working. Okay. I don't know what was going on with that. Anyway, let's go back so we can compare. So we definitely have some adjusting to do. These embers don't look like embers at all. In fact, it kind of looks bad. So this has to be fixed. So without that effect, what we're getting is this. This is just the compositing. And one thing I've been thinking is that I'm not exactly happy with the lens flare. So I think I'm just going to remove it. It kind of just looks like it doesn't belong there. So I'm going to actually go in and find where it is. That would be highlight. And I'm just going to disable it for now. No, it's actually hotspot. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think it adds too much, and I don't exactly want to put that in, so I think I'm going to remove that. And this is actually looking pretty good. We need what I did yesterday on stream was I started creating a particle system. And what that particle system does is I have another camera, like, let's see, let's go to particle, where is it, merge, which merges it with the camera. And what we have going on is this camera sees these particles, and then it renders these particles, and then I blur the particles, and then I blurred them. And then finally, after that, I recolored them to be a reddish color, kind of like glowing. And then I put that over on top of this layer. But the problem is, I don't want it to apply on the whole entire thing. I just want it to apply on the bright areas. So there's I believe there's a way to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the media in. I'm going to just Control C and then paste it, Control V. Where did that go? Let's undo that. Media in, Control C. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to drag that down, and let's see, how would I set this up? So we want to set to the channel, and we want to get rid of all these. So we're going to just set this to none, none, and none, and then set this to be we want to set this, let's see, to be the emit pass, which is just the light. So we're just going to set red, emit green, and emit, where is it? Emit blue. And that's RGB, so that's all the colors. And this pass will look like this if it loads. And for some reason it's not looking correct. Let's see what's going on. Maybe the passes are different. Let's see what's going on with this. That's strange. That is odd. Let's see, is anything set up wrong? Color space. Let's see. Control C. So it shouldn't be looking green. Let's see, are some of these, the red is not working. Interesting. Ah, there it is. Okay, that was a bit odd. I'm not sure why that was happening, but yeah, now it seems to be working like it should. So we only have the glowing areas. And now what I could do is I can blur this. So I'm going to just add in blur node. And let's see. It has to be blur. You don't want to use defocus. So, I mean, you don't want to use glow. You want to use a blur. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take this and then blur it a lot. This goes into here. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to take the blur, bring it up a lot. And then you could see on the left it's blurring. And I don't know, maybe something like this. Now, you want to have the blend all the way up. And now, I think this is too bright. It might, but let's see how it looks. So we're going to use this as a mask. We're going to use the brightness of this to control where these embers appear, so that they're only near where the glowing lava is. So maybe this is blurred a little too much. Let's try bringing it down just a little. Something like that should be good. And now, let's see, what do we want to do? We want to take this channel, which is here, and we want to use this. Okay, so I think I know how I'm going to do this. So we're going to copy this channel boolean, and then we're going to paste it, and we're going to take this and set it to multiply, and we're going to multiply by this is good, or is it? Yeah, yes, this should be good. So this is going to go into here, if I'm doing this correctly, and then the blur here will go into the green, and then this, let's see what we get. Okay, so maybe this goes into the blue. Nope. Okay, I think this might be working. It seems like it is. Let's actually just turn this blur off and then just try this out again. Okay, so what should be happening is this area here should be multiplied out, but it doesn't seem like it's working right. Let's see, I'm just going to try to figure this out for a second. Okay, so I think I got it figured out. So yeah, now I'm just doing some color correction to adjust how much I want to appear, and I think just a little bit, something like this should be good, just to kind of highlight it. And now we got that going into here, so then let's see what we're getting as a result. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, this isn't even plugged in. Okay. Now it seems like that it's not working. Let's see. We have to bring... There it is. Okay, interesting. So, let's see, we got Gotta view this one. And now it's very subtle. But if I turn it up, you'll see that there is sort of if I really turn it up, you can kind of see that it's there. Again, it's very subtle, but maybe it's a little too intense. Let's see. How can I adjust this? So this one, okay, why is this appearing dark? That's weird. Seems like we're not getting an output. There we go. Okay, it's working now. For some reason this one's not working. I'm not sure what's going on, which is strange. Anyway, oh, I must have brought the color down too much. There we go. That was the problem. Okay, no big deal. Alright. Let's take down the blur. Let's make it something like that, I think. This is going to require a lot of tweaking to get everything to look perfect. And technically, because of the camera animation, I kind of animated a rough camera, like the camera shaking. I should have done this before all that, but it's not really going to matter because the pass is blurred. Now, if it wasn't blurred, you kind of see there's an offset, a slight offset, but luckily with this being blurred, it shouldn't really be noticeable, and but yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So yeah, this is definitely has to be fixed here. It's too, I think it's too strong, the glare, but at the same time I would like to see the embers a little bit. Let's see, what can we do? So this has to be taken way down. I think this might not be bad. Let's see, what are we getting out of this? I just don't want to get too much glare. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. We need a little bit more. actually, now that I'm thinking, should this be reversed or not? Maybe this should be reversed. And then we change the colors. Okay, I gotta figure this out. So we got the lava there. Got the color correction here. Got the blur there. Let's bring that blur down. Something like that. And we got this. Okay. Yes, I'm actually doing it in reverse. This is more... I think I'm doing it in reverse. Let's see. Alright. Maybe I gotta take the contrast and gain down. Alright. Gonna just try to figure this out. I figured out the problem. Alright, so problem is the blend mode of the channel boolean was not set to 1. So as you can see, it was kind of mixing the multiplying. It wasn't fully multiplying the value over the other value. So yeah, that was definitely the problem. So now we're getting more what we want. So yeah, that was reversed. So I did two things wrong there. But thankfully, I think I got it fixed now. So yeah, let's continue with this. So this should be 1. Okay. Now let's reset all this color correction that we did. And now we're getting something more like I was expecting. And we need to take that blur, just bring it up a little bit, like that. And maybe, let's see, let's view some more frames to kind of get a reference here. Okay. That should be good. Now we got this. And if we remember, this color correct should adjust how much of the other color will show. So let's actually take the gain down and see what we get out of this. So I'm going to just view it. And let's see what we're getting. Okay, this is working perfectly now. Awesome. This is what I wanted. Now, you see these flares? These look great. It kind of, I feel like it just enhances it a little bit. Now, I'm going to still do some adjusting of this. So, like we have this channel boolean here. And it just adds a nice glow. Now, The question is, do I want... Yes, so look, before multiplying it, it looks completely awful, but once you multiply it out, it actually is starting to look really interesting. Now, I want to blur it a little more to make the mask a little bigger, because you could see you could kind of shrink it so that it's more around it, or you could bump it up so it's kind of spreading out. And I think I'm going to go to like 40. Should be good. And I don't want this much, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this... Is it the gain? Let's see. I believe it's the gain. Let's go to the blur. Lift. Is it lift? Let's see. We got a viewer color management here. Gamma. Whoa. It's not the gamma. Okay, it's gain. So, what we got going on here is if we bring the gain up, it's going to multiply more out by 1 so that you'll have the full effect showing. Excuse me. And if I lower it, it's kind of going to be more subtle. Now, I want it to be... I think something like 0.6 is good. Like, I'm pretty happy with this. Maybe a bit less. It's important not to overdo these kind of effects because it can get to be too much. So let's just kind of look through and see what this looks like. So I'm kind of going to jump through some frames. And let's just make this a full screen. Now, honestly, these glares here might be a little overdone, so we'll go back to adjusting that. So let's just turn on the... Let's just turn the effect on and off and just see the difference. Off and on, off and then on. I am actually pretty happy with it. Let's see, let's jump to a beginning one more. Wow. Alright. Look at the difference. Before, after, before, after. So, definitely really a fan of this effect. And it's all custom made, which is really nice. This is what makes Fusion so powerful, that you can do all this stuff. And this is, keep in mind that this is just the very surface of it. You can do a lot more than this in Fusion. I've seen some node trees that have well over, that have over 100 nodes, maybe even 200. I've seen some insane setups that have been done, and to be honest, it even confuses me. I'm just actually starting out in Fusion, but it's actually, the learning curve is not so bad. I was always waiting and not doing it because I thought it would be so difficult, but honestly, I'm having a much better experience using this compositor instead of blenders because it's much faster and you can do a lot more. And it's easier to organize the nodes too. So yeah, this is definitely a good compositor. So let's see, maybe I turn that blur up just a little more to kind of fill it in. I think perhaps, now that might be too much, so let's go to 50. Because I don't want to overdo it. It's very important not to overdo this. Yeah, I think that's actually pretty good. So let's just do let's just see what it looks like strong. This is way too strong now. Let's do 0.25. maybe 0.3. Or I think 0.25 is good. It's very important, again, not to go too crazy with these effects. Now let's see. What do we got going on here? I'm not going to enable that. I don't think it's needed. Raise. Raise, these are too much. There's definitely a little bit too much of this, so I'm going to just take it down to like 0.05. Let's do 0.06 actually. Okay. Let's see. So we can do some more stuff, I think. Let's see what else we got. Got paint. Oh, we got this. We got that. What is chromatic adaptation? That sounds interesting. Let's see. Does that do anything interesting? Nah, I don't think I want to mess with that. Let's see, we got a few more here. I think overall the majority of the compositing though is done. Let's try film damage and see how that looks. I have no idea what we're gonna get out of this. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Film blur, I don't want any blur. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really... So, it gives an interesting film effect, but I don't think I'm a fan of it. But it's definitely useful if you need something like this, but let's get rid of that for now. Maybe I'll just add a little bit of grain in after the film grain. So I'm going to add just in some regular grain. Not sure if this is a good idea, to be honest, but it's always worth seeing what this can do. Seems like it's not showing up though for some reason. Probably best not to add that in actually. This has to be here. Okay, so let's see, what do we got? You know what? Let's try adjusting the shadows. Okay, right click, or take one of our media ins, Control C, then Control V. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the ambient occlusion pass, and then we're going to try multiplying that by the rest and just see what that does. So I'm going to set this to be the where is it? The channels, none, none, none. Okay. Actually, this should be AO. So where is AO? AO red, AO green, and AO blue. Awesome. So I gotta think of a way to do this and not affect the lava too much. Let's see, how would I do this? I gotta think about this for a little bit. Okay, so I've been thinking about it. And maybe what I'll do is I'll just do it very slightly, so it doesn't affect the lava too much. Because if I really want to do it like the right way, I think what I'd have to do is I'd have to take the lava as a mask. Then basically, what would I have to do? I'd have to take that, then I'd have to take that value, and then somehow I'd have to affect the AO pass and multiply the AO pass by the brightness of this lava, and then I'd have to take that pass again and then multiply that pass back over the AO so that it effectively doesn't affect the brightness of the lava. But I'm just going to do it much easier. So I'm just going to multiply it over and do it less so that it doesn't affect things too much. So we got the media in, is that it? Okay, this. This is the mist pass, and this is the image. So I'm going to take the AO, and is this the AO? Yes, this is the AO. It definitely getting mixed up a little with these names. Gotta see, I don't know how to rename this. I'll have to figure that out later. So anyway, this is the image, AO. Okay, awesome. Now we're going to take a channel boolean, Control C, Control V, then set this to be, which one? Multiply. So then again, we have to take in the AO, and then take this. Actually, that we don't need right now. So this, channel boolean, awesome, plug that into here, plug this into here. Okay, now it's working. Take this, plug it into here. And now let's see what happens if we multiply this out. Now this may be really difficult to set up. Am I doing this correctly? Let's see. Because at the same time, I don't want to affect the focus. Okay, everything's working still. Awesome. Alright, so multiply. So multiply red, green, blue, and yeah, so okay, it's doing exactly what I expected it to do. So if we bring this to 1, you see we're kind of getting more shadows. Like look over here. We bring that to 0. It's kind of enhancing the shadows, but I don't want it to be this dark. So we're going to do this very, very subtle. So it's there, but it's not really that noticeable. Let's try 0.12. I think should be good. It's very, very slight. It's almost unnoticeable, but it's just something I like to add in. Okay. So let's see how our render speed is now if we're getting at least a decent rate. Okay, that's not bad. 3.5 seconds a frame. Not bad at all. I would have thought it would be much worse. Alright. Yeah, so is there anything else I can do here? I'm going to just look at some stuff here that I see. This isn't a very it's not a very complex scene, so there's comes to a point where there's not much else you really have to add. Let's see, what is prism blur? That sounds interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really want that though. Okay, let's look at some of these and see what we got. Now, honestly, we might be good with what we got here. We may be good with what we got. We got some stuff here. Let's see, effect. Let's see, what does shadow do? Let's see, add tool, where is it? Creator. It's always hard to find these settings here. Shadow. Nope. Effect. Shadow. There we go. And what does this do? Oh, crashed. Okay. That might be a problem. Let's just restart it. No problem. Maybe there was a problem with the node. Not really sure. We'll see what happens. Okay, we gotta let that load again. It looks like this has to be enabled. Okay. And it looks like that we have to change something here. Might have to reset this. Let's see, is this working? Okay. It looks like that some things got reverted, unfortunately. It's no big deal. We just gotta find where it's connected to. And we have to set this back to multiply. Is that working right? Let's see. And then I don't want the lens flare, which I'm seeing. Hotspot, we don't need that. Okay, awesome. Now, blur, color correct. Oh, so it seems like that crash actually set me back a little bit. That's a shame. Alright, so we'll just redo this. I have to save more often. I forget to do that a lot. Okay, so I'm just gonna do what I did before. Set this one to be emit red, emit green, and emit blue. Awesome. Bring that. And then this should be add. And then Control C, Control V. Plug this into here. This to here. Then we're gonna take this. And then we're gonna set this. That's good. Now this we want to multiply, so we're going to set this to be multiply. And let me save in case another crash happens. So now, remember we had the blend mode not set correctly before, and that was causing us problems. So now appears not to be showing at all, so. Okay, now this is green. And I remember this was happening, I'm not sure why, but changing this kind of fixes it. Oh, this is, I see what's going on. This has to, I set it to environment. Okay. There we go. Alright. So you have to be very careful with your settings here. And now let's duplicate that blur. Control V. Bring that to here. Bring that to here. And then just bring up the blur. Where'd we have it at 50? Okay. And I think we're good. Now again, we have to adjust this like before. Let's just save everything. And I believe we had it at 0.25. So again, without it and then with. I think it gives a nice effect. Let's just take a view at some of the different looks. Yeah. And if you remember, we had the rays, which were too strong. This should be 0.05. And now I'm going to add in the shadow, because I'm going to try doing it this way instead of with the ambient occlusion. So I'm going to take this in, bring it after here. Yep, it crashed. Okay, so that node definitely has a problem. Okay, so it's definitely a problem with that node. Okay, I don't want to install it. Just want to open it up. And guys, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask at any time. This one was their project. Okay. And hopefully nothing got lost here. Looks like everything, I think, is showing up. Yep. Okay, everything is actually working. Now, important, I don't want to add in that shadow because it was causing a crash. By the way, I think I have to resize the window so that it looks properly on your end. So let's just get that fixed. Okay. I always forget to do this. Okay. Let's see, why is our seconds per frame so high? Alright, it seems to be going down. That's good. It must be taking like an average. Yeah, it's going down now, which is great. 4.2 seconds a frame is not half bad. And probably it's a little slower because I'm streaming. Alright. So let's see, effect. I'd like to add one more thing in if I can. If not, it's fine. Let's actually, I think we're good, honestly. I'm pretty happy with everything that we got here. So let's just clean up the node tree, and then let's just do some minor color adjustment. So we got these that we don't need. Just trying to clean it up so that everything looks more organized. Okay, let's bring that there. So that's a little bit better. Now, we got a color correction here. Let's do some more color corrections. So I'm going to just duplicate that because I don't want to affect this one. This will be kind of the secondary color correction. And important to note, this is done in scene referred space, meaning it's before we apply any kind of lookup table or conversion, and this is very important because it allows you to access the raw values and it gives you more dynamic range. Again, it's complicated stuff, so hopefully it kind of makes sense. So this color corrector. So we got the first color corrector. Kind of brightens it up a little. Now, are we getting this? Okay, it is showing up. Alright, so let's see, I don't want to go too crazy here. We can either bring it down, so we can bring the gain down, or we can bring it up. And I'm not sure which one I like better. I think I'm just going to leave that. So this should be 1. Now do I want to change the saturation? Oh, that doesn't look good. Yikes. So if you go too crazy with saturation, you could see things just look bad. It's too much yellow, so you gotta be really careful with this. I think how it was before is good. Now, gamma will just kind of brighten things up, make it look more like it's more a daytime instead of like night. But you have to be careful with this because if you bring this down too much, you could see that the gain is effectively becoming too intense, so you have to bring down the gain with it. That's one thing you would notice. So, like if you bring up the gamma, it kind of loses its dynamic range and it kind of looks flat. So then in that case, you want to bring the gain. I think you want to bring it up. Like you could bring it way up. Now you don't really want to go crazy here. Sometimes gain doesn't do it, so in that case you want to bring contrast up, but just a tiny amount. I mean really small, like 1.01. even that's just too much. Oh, 1.002. Even that's causing clipping, so in that case you don't really want to mess around with the contrast. Yeah, so if you bring the gamma up, things are going to just look more washed out. That's one thing you'll notice, and it's just not going to look as nice. But if you go too crazy with it, you're going to get a really bad result. So just be careful with this. Honestly, I think I like what we have, but I may just push up the gamma a little and bring the gain a little and bring the gamma down. But you know what? I think it's just a little bit too much. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just push up the gain a tiny amount, like 1.3. And then bring the gamma down. Maybe this could go to 1.5. It's very slight, but it's there. It kind of gives a little more definition to it, I feel. Let's just view a few more. Yeah, and then we got the other color corrector, which is here. Let's take a look at the original image. Okay, so we're going to just view this. Yeah, so big difference. Look at the one on the left. And look at the one on the right. This is the difference of one without compositing versus with. So compositing gives a huge amount of realism and just enhances the scene a lot. I mean, look, it looks much better when you add in good compositing. So it is very important. And you notice I kind of got some imperfections at the top here that I wasn't exactly liking, but I feel like the compositing does a better job at hiding that. It's not perfect, but for this, I'm pretty happy with the result. Yeah. Let's see, what else do we got here? So I did color correction. Maybe we'll leave that gamma because I feel like it's getting to, it's getting to be just too much. Let's just bring that down just for this 0.98. Yeah, that's better. Don't want to go too crazy with the colors. And yeah. Again, I had a sharpen that I added in previously, I think. Let's see, where is my sharpen? I want to add in a sharpen, but I want to make sure I don't have it already. Okay, add. We gotta find it. It's gonna take a little while. It's not blur. It's not color. I think it's effect. Filter. Nope. Flow. Whoops. Macros. Blur, color. Got a lot of stuff here, but where is sharpen? I can't find it. Is it this? Filter? Filter. No. I cannot find sharpen. I'd really like to see how that looks. So I know it's not 3D. Is it in color? Just gonna look through again. Film. Nope. Filter. Nope. Fuses. Would it be here? Nope. Generator, no. Could be here. Again, it's probably not here, but let's see. Okay, I'm not seeing it yet. I might not be able to find it actually. Shape, nope. Yeah, it seems like I can't find it. Now is there any way to search? Search tool name. Sharpen. Find all. Oh, I already added a sharpen. Wow, alright. Must have... Well, let's just change this amount. I set that to 0.03. Let's go crazy. Just, yeah. Okay, so we don't want to go crazy with this. In fact, look at that. That looks really bad. So, let's just leave that how it was. Now the question is, does removing it make it look better? Let's just try 0.1. Okay, so that's not too bad. Let's try 0.2. Okay, now it's getting to be too much. It definitely makes it look sharp, but it's just way too much. I think I'm going to leave it at 0.03. Okay. Now, let's see. We got two windows showing up. We don't need that one. We just need this one. Okay. And let's see. Let's see what kind of frame rate we're getting. Make sure everything's nice and smooth. All right. Four seconds a frame. Not the best, but it's all right. I'm sure the live stream is affecting it a little bit. Usually it's like 3.6. All right, so that's fair. So now I think I'm finished with this. I know it was a short stream compared to my other ones, but yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think this is finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this whole thing out, and then hopefully we'll put it onto YouTube very shortly. And yeah, my next video will be on hard surface modeling, so stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed. I got my Patreon link in the my Patreon link in the description. So check it out if you're interested. And yeah, thank you guys a lot for watching, and I will be